Ever been there? Project sponsor pulls you aside, asks, so what's the drill if the schedule slips? Seems simple, but maybe your answer isn't quite nailed down.
Oh, absolutely. It's a common moment, and it really highlights why just winging it doesn't work.
Right. So today, we're zeroing in on the definitive place to find that answer. We're doing a deep dive, drawing on concepts discussed in Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Casabone.
The goal is to know exactly where the authoritative information lives, especially when, the organization chart gets a bit messy.
Like in those weak matrix setups.
Exactly, where functional managers hold a lot of sway over resources without a formal agreed upon process for schedule changes. It's a recipe for confusion, maybe conflict.
Totally. And that sponsor, they're not looking for just like a general guideline. They want the real procedure, a step-by-step.
Which brings us to the key document, the schedule management plan.
And that's part of the bigger project management plan, right? Not just floating out there on its own.
Precisely. Think of the overall project plan as the master document, and the schedule management plan is the specific chapter on time.
Got it. So what exactly does that chapter, that schedule plan tell us?
Well, it covers how the schedule is built in the first place, how you're tracking it, and critically, how changes are handled.
Okay, so the change process, what kind of detail are we talking about?
We're talking specifics, like who initiates a change request? Is there a specific form or tool? How do you assess the impact?
And who approves it?
Yes, the approval levels, the roles involved at each step, and importantly, the thresholds. How much variance is okay before you must trigger a formal change.
That makes sense. Because otherwise you might just say, ping a senior manager informally.
You could, but their answer might not align with the project's documented process. They have a high-level view, maybe not the nitty-gritty for your specific project.
What about the functional manager whose team is affected?
Good question. They manage the resources, sure, but they don't usually own the overall project schedule change process. That's defined centrally for the project.
Okay, so hitting up managers directly might lead you astray. What about just reading the PMBO guide?
The PMBO guide is fantastic. It gives you the industry standards, the generally accepted practices, but it's general,
They're
right?
not tailored.
Exactly. It doesn't have your project's specific procedures or the tools your team uses or your defined approval workflow.
So the schedule management plan is really the customized rulebook for schedule changes on this project.
That's the heart of it. It's the single source of truth, how changes get spotted, assessed, approved, and communicated.
And like you said, in those distributed authority situations, like a weak matrix, having that formal plan is crucial to keep everyone aligned.
Absolutely essential. It prevents misunderstandings and keeps the project moving based on agreed rules, not just, assumptions.
So the big takeaway for everyone listening, if you need to know how schedule changes are handled on your project, look no further than the schedule management plan.
It's your definitive resource. Knowing that and knowing what's in it lets you answer those sponsor questions with real confidence.
Shows you're following the established process. And if you think about it, proactively referencing that plan in conversations, that could really build trust with stakeholders.
It's a great point. It demonstrates control and transparency. So maybe something for you to think about. How often do you actually refer back to your schedule management plan in stakeholder updates? Could that be improved?
Definitely food for thought. For really solid grounding in these essential project management concepts, we highly recommend checking out Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Casabone.